Right now, if we look at the final question in this paper, question 8, right, again, this is also from the October-November 2023 series. This is a long question, alright, so let's try and read it quickly. It says a class of students are developing a program to send data between computers. Many computers are connected together to form a wired network, and serial ports are used to connect one computer to another. Okay, each computer is assigned a unique 3-digit ID. Each computer has 3 ports, each identified by an integer value, and each computer is connected to between 1 and 3 other computers. Right, data is sent as individual message strings, and each string contains the destination ID, and this is the ID of the computer that is to receive the message. Right, followed by the data. So I guess, yeah, like this. Right, destination ID, do they say it's 3? Yeah, I guess this is going to be 3 digits, right, and then the data. Right, messages may pass through several computers on their way to their destination. When a message arrives at a computer that is not the destination, the program needs to forward it on to another computer using one of its serial ports. The port to use is obtained from information stored in the array root table, and root table is a global 2D array of integers, right, declared like this. So okay, we've got 6 rows and 3 columns. Okay, all of these are going to be integers. The values in the first 2 columns define a range of ID values, and column 3 gives the port number that we should use when forwarding this message. For example, here, right, we say, well, column 1 is 100, right, column 2 is 199. So if, for example, we're sending to the device with ID 150, well, that's going to be this one, because yeah, 150 is within this range, 100 to 199, right? So we would send here, on kind of port 1. Likewise, 283. Well, 283 is going to be in this range here, right? So we're going to send on port 2. Right, it also says, well, row 3 is an unused row, so if it's -1, right, we just ignore that, basically. Right, so we want to define, well, we want to write this GetPort, and what that will do, it takes a destination ID as a parameter of type string. It then searches the range for the corresponding destination ID, and returns the port number, or returns -1 if no corresponding range is found. So what that's doing then is, like, let's say the destination ID is 283. Well, it's just doing what we've said, it's a kind of a linear search, and then yeah, trying to find the actual port number. So we're going to say, well, it has to be bigger, greater than or equal to column 1, and less than or equal to column 2, effectively. Okay, so if we try and write this, and again, I mean, like always, you can get this starter code, right? Go to the exam question. I guess choose this one, right? Paper 22. I guess AA 8B, right? Stack message. And the reason it's stack message is because, well, part A is going to be part B is stack message. But yeah, I mean, it also has the root table thing here as well. Right. So what we want to do then is going to be a function, because it returns. Right. So it's going to take let's say destination ID, and let's try and spell it the same as they have as well. Right. So using capital letters, and this will be type string. And well, here we see this is just going to return an integer, because, for example, it returns -1. Right, so what we want to do, I think the first thing we want to do, I mean, we want to convert this string into an integer. So let's go declare. I mean, maybe let's call it like int dest ID. That's the integer destination ID. Right, that's going to be an integer. And then the way we do that, we can use the string to num. And like if we want to go the other way, right, we use num to string. So that is going to take the destination ID as a parameter. Right, and then we just want to do linear search. So let's go for, and I mean, we can say row if we want. So let's say row 1. And I mean, here we can just say 6. Right, if we wanted, we could go length of root table. Right, that's also going to say 6. But yeah, here, since they told us, well, there's always 6 rows. Okay, then we can just kind of manually say 6. Right, then let's just go next row. Right, and then what we want to do, I guess we want to say if, and we need to check that the first column is not equal to -1, right, because that means it's unused. So I guess here, let's go root table, and the row is just going to be, this row, right, this counter, and then we want to say column 1. So right, this should be not equal to -1, right, and then we can just have an and. So here we want to say the int destination ID is greater than or equal to, and this will be the root table, well, row 1, row and then column 1. Right, and we also want the destination ID to be less than or equal to the root table, and yeah, this will be, well, again, row and then column 2. Right, so I think hopefully that should be okay. And then here we can just go return, and right, what we want to do, well, we want to return column 3. So that's going to be root table, right, again, it's going to be this row counter, then just column 3. Right, and as always with linear search, if we don't find it in the for loop, well then of course when we get to the end of the for loop, that means it's not been found. So yeah, so I guess here we just return -1, because yeah, that's if no range is found. Right, so I think that works, and if we just use this data, yeah, let's try 283, okay, should return 2. So let's go output. Alright, we'll go GetPort. And again, of course, you don't need to do this in the exam, right? In the exam, just write the function. But yeah, here we're just testing it. And the weird thing is, right, this is the string 283, okay, not an integer 283. Let's see if this works. And yeah, okay, we get 2. Now, let's try another one. Maybe we try... Yeah, I wanted to try this, but I guess there is nothing in that range. Let's see, this only goes up to like 249. Okay, so we'll try something like 255, and this should return -1. And yeah, okay, so this seems to be working. Now on to part B. It says copies of the same program will run on each computer. The program contains a global variable myID of type string, which contains the unique ID of the computer in which the program is running. When messages are received, they are placed on one of two stacks. Stack 1 is used for messages that have reached their destination, and stack 2 is used for messages that will be forwarded to another computer. Right, so we've got this stack message which is already written. This takes two parameters. One is a string representing a message, and the second is an integer representing the stack number. Because I think here we said, stack 1 is for messages that have reached their destination. Right, stack 2 is for if they need to be forwarded. Right, so that's going to be how we define this stack number. Right, then this will add the message to the required stack and returns true if the message is added to the stack, otherwise returns false. And again, this has already been written, so we don't really need to worry about the kind of, internal workings of this. Right, so what we need to write ProcessMsg, it will take a message as a parameter of type string, also ignores any message with 0 length data field, extracts the destination ID from the message, and checks whether the destination ID is the computer or whether the message is to be forwarded. Then uses stack message to add the message to the appropriate stack. Then outputs an error if the message could not be added to the stack. Okay, alright, so yeah, let's just go ahead and try and write this. If again we just go, this is a procedure, right? Okay. Right, so let's go procedure. This will be ProcessMsg. I'm just checking I've got the spelling correct. Right, so let's say message, and this will be of type string. Again, let's just end procedure first. Right, so it says ignores any message with a 0 length data field. Now, if you remember though, it said we would have, like 3 characters. Right, so this would be the actual, this would be the sort of, I guess the destination ID. Yeah, and then you'd have the data after this. Right, so if the length, if there's 0 data, right, then the length is actually going to be 3. So I think this is a common mistake, people might check if the length is 0. But what we want to do then, we want to say if the length of message, and I guess we can do it if that's greater than 3, right, then this will be valid. I guess here we can just have end if, right, and we'll kind of do nothing. Right, so what we want to do, we want to extract the destination ID from the message. I think we will need to convert that to an integer, okay, because this doesn't need the destination number. Although, we will need to convert it to an integer because No, okay, no, we won't. Right, so my ID, this is also of type string. Okay, so yeah, let's just go here. We'll go declare. Let's just say, well, dest ID, right, destination ID, right. That's going to be a string, and then I mean the way we can get that, either we can use mid, or here since it starts from the left, okay, we can just use left, and right, this is going to be message, and then we just want to get the leftmost 3 characters. Right, so check whether the destination ID. Yeah, so I think we can just do this one next. So let's go if destination ID is equal to my ID. And again, you know, with this code, well, my ID we've defined here, right, it's just being 1, 2, 3. Right, so if it is my ID, then what do we want to do? So I guess here we just want to add it to this stack. Right, so we might want to say something like stack number. Let's go declare, we'll just go stack num. Right, that will just be an integer. And then I guess what we're going to do here, we'll just go stack num. And then I think they say this one is just going to be 1. Right, and then if it needs to be forward, then the stack num is going to be 2. Okay. Right, and I think, yeah, I think then we can just call stack message. I mean, not call it, but, you know, yeah, just kind of maybe store this. Alright, so, I mean, we could actually have a boolean like this. We can say, I don't know, like, yeah, I don't know, just success, or yeah, stack success. Although it's actually not necessary to do this boolean. But I mean, well, let's just do it with this anyway. Right, so if we do go success, this will be stack message. Right, and then if we see, okay, this takes the message. Now, yeah, does this also include the destination ID? I mean, let's see what it says. Yeah, I mean, I think this one is a bit ambiguous. So I guess, I mean, this one, it must need to keep the destination ID, because if it's not the actual end device, well, the next device will need, you know, to kind of have the destination ID in order to, you know, calculate the next, well, basically the next hop, you know, the next device to send it to. So yeah, I guess here we're not going to kind of, you know, remove the destination ID from the message. So that makes it easier, to be honest. All right, although if we did want to do that, so you know, if we did want to just remove these like first 3 characters, I mean, the way we would do that, we could just go message. Then what we would do is we would just go okay, not substring. All right, mid. Yeah, this is A level. I think substring is for IG. Right, okay, so we would go mid, we would then go message, and well, we would want to start from character 4, okay, because well, we're starting here from character 4, and then the number of characters, well, it's then just going to be the length of the message, and then just minus 3, because like here, well, if the length is 6, well, we want to start at character 4, and then yeah, I just get 3 characters, right? So A, B, C. So yeah, I think this would work if we wanted to, you know, delete the destination ID. Right, anyway, so the second parameter, that's going to be the stack num, and then what do? Just output an error. So we just go, what if success equals false. Let's just say, yeah, message, right, not added to stack. Alright, and then we can just have an end if, and yeah, I think that's everything. So let's actually try this. And alright, to be honest here, I mean, we shouldn't do this in the exam, but I'm going to do it just so we can test it, or just just so we can see if it's working. Let's go message added to stack, and then here we're just going to have the stack number. And again, you know, this is only for testing, right? Don't do this in the exam. Okay, right, so let's go call, and let's go process message. And I mean, let's try like 111 and then ABC. Okay, yeah, so message added to stack 2, alright, that seems to work. And let's try, for example, 123. Alright, so 123 is our device. And yeah, okay, it says message added to stack 1. Now, if you remember, we do actually, I think it says the stack size is 10, or at least, well, that's what I made it here. So, I mean, let's just copy this like sort of 10 times. I think that's 12. Okay, so the first 10 should say success. And then I guess, yeah, the last two, yeah, okay, the last two, it should have this failure message. Right, guys, so, I mean, again, I think that's everything in this video, and if you got any questions, well, leave them in the comments, ask them on Discord, and yeah, hope to see you again in the next video.